2019, I sat in this chair, in this spot in front of this bookshelf, and put out a video explaining that I was going to release a series called Business in Review, where I interview local business leaders to see how they do business. But I ran into a problem. Perfectionism got in my way. I conducted some really great interviews, and then when it came time to edit, I was frustrated with my editing skills, and I ended up just sitting on this content for almost 8 months now. But in light of social distancing and quarantine, it feels like a really good time to just get over perfectionism and hit publish on what I believe are some really great insights from some people that I respect and look up to, and I want to share them with you. You see, a lot of businesses exist without any mentors in their life. I wanted to create Business in Review so that I wasn't one of them, and you don't have to be either. Without further ado, what does it take to succeed at business? Here's my interview with Kyle East from Woodman Life. All right, I'm here with Kyle East. He is a financial representative at Woodman Life. He's actually my financial representative. He was just voted Crockett County Man of the Year here in 2019. He's very involved in this community. He's somebody that I look up to, not just for his business expertise and success, but even just the way that he lives his life. And so I'm super thankful to be here with you, Kyle. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming.
The first question I want to ask you, what does it take to be in business?
What does it take to be in business? You have to have a lot of self-discipline. If you're going to be in business yourself, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you definitely got to have that self-discipline. I tell people all the time that the best thing about working for yourself and the worst thing about working for yourself is the same thing, and that's flexibility. Mm-hmm. If you use it correctly, you can be very successful. If you choose not to use it correctly, you can be very unsuccessful very fast. So to be in business, you've got to have that self-drive, that self-motivation to be able to get up, go out, and do what you need to do and take care of business.
Let me ask you, just off of that, do you think anybody can do that, or does it take a special kind of something in a person?
Yeah, I don't think just anybody can do it. There's parts of it that cannot be taught, in my opinion. It can go all the way back from the person's upbringing, what they're used to, what they were taught, that sticks with them forever, or it could be just that character trait that maybe they don't. A lot of people, they need to clock in and out. They need that structure. They need to know when to show up. They need to know when they can go home, and without that, they would be lost. And so I don't think just anyone could do their own business. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask, because I've heard it said that if your business isn't making any money, it's just a hobby. And so I want to ask you next, what does it take to make a sale as far as your money for my product or service? What does it take to make that exchange with a person?
Okay, so as far as making a sale, way before I make the sale, I try to first make a relationship. I try to build relationships. They always say in the insurance business, and it holds true in any business, people don't care what company you're with. They don't care if you're company A, company B, company C. Mm-hmm. What they care about is you're going to take care of them. You're going to have that relationship with them, and if you have a problem, you can call them. And so when you're in business for yourself, whether it be the financial services business I'm in, or whether it be a landscaping business, it doesn't matter. They want to do business with the person. They want to make sure the person's going to be there, the person's going to take care of them, they have a good reputation, and will do what they say they're going to do. So the first part of making a sale, in my opinion, is building that relationship. I just don't walk into people's house or people walk into the office and we try to do something immediately. I want to get to know them. I want to find out who they are, and I want them to know about me. I wouldn't do business with somebody I didn't know, had a background in, and I want them to know. So that's the first part. Once that relationship is built, then we look at what they need. A lot of salespeople, a lot of people in business for themselves, unfortunately, they look at what they need. How much do I need? You're talking about making any money. There may be that sale that you make that you don't make any money. Mm-hmm. But look what it can lead to down the line. I always tell people, if you do what's best for the client, you will be paid. It may not be then, but the referrals, you taking care of them. So if you always do what's best, do what's in the other person, do what's in your client's best interest, you will get paid. And so that's my motto, and that's what I stick to.
Yeah.
I keep my self-interest out of it, and I take care of the client.
Awesome. So let me ask, give us a little bit of your background about, I'm just starting out. You were just starting out at some point. How did you get from there to where you are now? I'm looking at, top recruited trophies. I know that you're have done very well, have won awards even with Woodman Life overall, nationwide. And so tell us about from the genesis of Kyle East to where you are now.
Oh, that's a good question. I started out as a paramedic, so I wasn't in sales at all, and then got promoted to a 911 position. All while doing that, I did serve on the county commission here in Crockett County. So I was a county commissioner for 2 terms, and although I don't know that I would do it again, the experience was invaluable. Dealing with conflict, helping people through their through problems, giving solutions. So I appreciate the opportunity that I had to do that. So starting out, I had to rely on those relationships that I already had. Those people that I graduated high school with, those people that I may have had hobbies with, those people that I went to church with. That's where everybody has to start. You have to start with people and then work up and build those relationships. Moving forward, immediately I started in July. I immediately joined the Chamber of Commerce. Well, let me back up. I was already a member of the Chamber. I actually served on the Chamber Board of Directors. So I knew the value of the Chamber, but I had never needed it per se as a paramedic. We're not out there soliciting business. So I had never needed what they offer until that point. And so I immediately got more involved with the Chamber. Started attending, more ribbon cutting, started going to their meet and greets, their Chamber coffees, more things like that. But I also started in Dyer County with Woodman. And so I joined the Chamber in Dyer County. That was huge. Immediately become a diplomat, is what they call it, ambassador here. Go out and just be an ambassador for the county of Dyer County. And then in September, that following September, so just a few months later, I started in the Rotary Club. Got plugged in the Rotary Club, great organization, great group of people. And those 2 things probably positively impacted my business more than anything. Just that networking, building those relationships, and getting out in the community.
Awesome. That's actually really cool to hear, because I feel like I'm just floundering sometimes trying to figure things out, but those are some of the things that I've started to see the value in and do already. So that's encouraging. It makes me feel like I'm on the right track. Let me ask you, it's exciting to be in business. I'm sure you feel some of that, and it's also got a lot of challenges. Can you tell me about some of the challenges specifically with selling insurance and things that you have to deal with, things that you have to try to overcome in your insurance business?
Sure. With insurance, obviously in life insurance particularly, and even in building a retirement, the younger you start, the better. In a retirement, the younger you start, that's the more time you have to put into it. You're going to have more money at retirement. With life insurance, the younger you start, the healthier you are. You're not going to get any healthier, and you're not going to get any younger. And so the quicker that you can get that going, the better. The problem is with that is a lot of people don't see the importance. Many people don't see the importance, unfortunately, until it's too late. They either have a health crisis, they lose a loved one, and so that's when. So making people understand the importance of saving early, so that you'll have a great retirement, or getting your life insurance early, so that it's locked in if you were to have bad health later, or if you were to die prematurely. I mean, we're not promised tomorrow. And so that has been a big challenge. Another challenge is competition, and that's a good challenge. That's a good thing. Competition is a good thing, but you've got people that you would bet on that would do business with you, and they don't. And it can be a shot in the heart, but I've learned to look at it, well, at least they're covered. If they go through one of our competitors to get financial services or to get life insurance, I have learned now that it doesn't matter who you go with. At least I know they're covered. At least I know their family will be taken care of. At least I know they have a decent retirement. And so I've had to look at it from that way. And then in this business, you plant a lot of seeds and a lot of seeds don't reap immediately. I have planted seeds. I have asked people to give me the opportunity to get in front of them, and they just flat out tell me no. And then 5 years later, they call me and say, "Hey, do you still do XYZ? We need to get life insurance, or we just bought a house." And so you just mentioned about spinning your wheels and trying to do things. You are planting seeds. Every day that you're out there, every post you put on Facebook, every ribbon cutting you attend, you are planting seeds. People know what you do, and when they need you, they'll call. And that has been a huge. You don't see that in the first year. You don't see that usually in the first 2 years. But now that I've been doing this, I just started my 8th year. The seeds that you plant will reap one day, and you just keep nurturing those and keep those relationships open. And it'll come back around.
That's great. That's awesome. Let me ask you, especially going off of the first thing you said, a lot of people don't feel the need to buy life insurance because it's not a felt problem that they have. Even me, I've bought life insurance from you, but it's I don't think I'm going to die. I don't think I'm ever going to die. And
Right.
So I don't feel that problem. And so you're working with, because a lot of times in business they say you've got to understand your customer's problem and then address that, right? But you
Right.
understand their problem, but they don't feel that they have that problem.
Right.
And so that's the challenge that you have. So let me ask, what problem do you solve for Woodman Life customers?
Well, it depends on what we do. In retirement and savings, we solve that problem of them running out of money. Many people that retire, they have that retirement or that pensions are kind of a thing of the past. Those good companies are still a few out there, but people don't offer those pensions anymore that played a huge role in people's retirement. So now people rely on Social Security, and they rely on their 401k. A big fear that they have with just those two things is Social Security. That check's coming. Now people speculate and say that the younger folks aren't going to have Social Security. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But we can go ahead and fix that now. If they don't, or if they do, they just got a bigger retirement. But when you put that money into a 401k and then they start taking payments out of it every month, people are living longer. And so they have that fear of outliving their money, and we see it every day. And so that's the problem I help solve in that aspect, is to get the pool of money large enough and to put it in a product that will guarantee that they do not outlive their money, and then maybe even have some to pass on as a legacy. With life insurance, the problem that I solve there is that just continuation. If a spouse passes away, take myself for example. If I passed away tomorrow, there's a house payment, there's a car payment. I've got 3 children that have to be raised, that have to go, that will probably go to college, that'll need a car one day, daughter need a wedding dress, all those things that wouldn't happen if it weren't for life insurance. Now they might could get by. Obviously they could get by, but they may have to make some major cuts that could put them in a bad situation. And I don't want that to have to happen. And so you protect that lifestyle. Life insurance can be used for many different things. Estate planning. The older people get it for estate planning. Pass that on. Life insurance is income tax free right now, so they can have an income tax free gift that they can pass on to their children and grandchildren. And then life insurance can also provide charitable giving. A lot of people don't realize that you've got someone that goes to church, and boy, how they would love to leave that church $10,000 if only they had it, but they don't. But they may have $30 a month that they could set aside in a life insurance policy, and then upon their death, the church gets $10,000 or any other charitable organization. So life insurance plays so many roles that people don't understand. Business continuation, you've got business partners. If something happened to one of those partners, that other partner's got to pick up the slack. And so they can have agreements there with life insurance. So life insurance plays so many roles in the day-to-day life that people don't understand. And from an economic standpoint, the biggest thing that people don't understand is the amount of dollars that go back into the county. Just in the 7.5 years that I've been with Woodman, the death claims that I have delivered have been way up in the millions. That's millions of dollars of people that live in this county. That's millions of dollars that are dumped back into this economy, that are spent at the local gas stations, at the local boutiques, at wherever. that people don't realize the impact of life insurance on the county as a whole, and bringing more dollars into the county. And then we do offer like Medicare supplements and things like that for the older people over 65. And the problem we solve there is those huge medical bills that can pile up because Medicare don't pay 100%. And so we have those Medicare supplements that we can offer so that they don't have to go through their life savings to pay a hospitalization bill that we know aren't cheap. Mm-hmm. So several problems that we can help solve here.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll say too, because I have life insurance, which it's still odd and crazy to me, that concept of what you're buying when you do that. But you don't help me solve the problem of, when I die, things are going to be really bad. You help me solve the problem of taking care of the people I love, really, is what it comes back to. Because it's not, my life insurance policy isn't about me. It's about my family. It's about my loved ones if something were to happen with me. And so you actually, from like an aspirational standpoint, you help me feel more of like a provider, like a care, that I've done due diligence and I can take care of my family, the people I love, which is really awesome. And I didn't know that much is going out in Croc County, but that's really cool.
Several. And something else in your situation, you're not married, you don't have children. I didn't touch on that, but what you do have is health. Mm-hmm. And we're not always guaranteed that. So by having your life insurance locked in place, yes, you may not be married now, you may not have children now, but I imagine it'll be coming in your future. Mm-hmm. And so the thing that you do is you lock in your health. That life insurance policy, as long as you pay your premiums, cannot be taken away from you.
Nice, yeah.
And so if something happened, let's say right before you did get married, or whatever the case may be, and your health was in a crisis and you could not qualify, you've got it. And so it's locked in. And so a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't need life insurance," but you do, and you saw the need, and that's highly respectable.
Yeah, yeah. That's I feel like if people did see it that way, kind of more like a stock market, like you want to get in when the getting's good. Well, that's right. When you're young for life insurance. Like when you're healthy, that's when the getting's good. Get it now, lock it in.
That's right.
That's so cool. I want to ask you as a last question here, and again, thank you so much for your time. This has been welcome. Golden for me. But I guess to me, but anybody else watching, if you're just starting out in business, if you're getting your foot forward, maybe you've been in business but you're struggling, what advice do you have for people to achieve success in their business?
To be successful, it kind of goes back to that other thing, as long as you always do right. You hear the thing, right is right, will always be right, wrong is wrong, and will always be wrong. And as long as you do what's right, you have a little bit of money management sense about you. You can easily get bogged down in advertising. Mm-hmm. Advertising is expensive. It's necessary, but it's expensive. And so you have to set a plan in place, or everybody that's knocking on your door wanting to sponsor this, sponsor that, it can put you out of business. So you have to kind of have that yearly plan in place. We want to help everybody. We want to sponsor everything in the county, but the fact is we can't. You can't do that. And so have that plan in place, advertising, but do it well, and don't get carried away. Make sure you can manage your time, especially manage your money, your own finances that lead over into your business finances, and then always do right. Always treat people right, and you'll always have a job, or you should always have a job.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Kyle. And thank you for watching. Next time we'll have somebody else awesome to interview, but we're so appreciative of Kyle East here in Woodman Life, and just thanks. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Kyle.
A lot of businesses don't actually have as much control of their website as they'd like, and it's frustrating to pay for a tool that you can't actually use. That's why all of the websites I build for my customers are easily editable as a top priority. Your business is flexible and agile and able to adapt. Your website needs to have those same qualities. Because if you have a tool that you can't use, it's not really a tool at all. If you have a website you're not happy with, or if you need help creating a website for the very first time, call me at Derek Smith Marketing today to begin building the perfect website tool for your business.